Hello. If you're watching this video, you're probably interested in learning more about the Undergraduate Teaching Fellow, or UTF, program here in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, ECE, at the University of Maryland. My name is Michael, and I am currently a senior in the Electrical Engineering program, and I am here on behalf of the ECE department to give a little bit more of an introduction about the UTF program, the responsibilities of the UTF, some of the courses that the department hires undergraduate teaching fellows for, and some reasons why you should apply to become a UTF too. I've been a UTF this is my 5th semester now, and I've really enjoyed my experience in all 5 of my semesters. So I'm going to give you some highlights and share a little bit about why you should also become an undergraduate teaching fellow. So first, what is a UTF? Well, an undergraduate teaching fellow, or UTF, is responsible for leading labs and or discussion sections for one of the 100 or 200 level E&E courses. In addition to this, you're responsible for grading student work, so homework, projects, exams, meeting with the course professor or faculty regularly, usually about once a week. You're also responsible for holding weekly office hours to assist students with projects, labs, exam prep, etc. And these can vary week to week, but it's usually about an hour a week in order to help students succeed in the course. Altogether, you're responsible for working between 6 and 14 hours per week, and this does vary by course. Some courses are contracted for 6 hours per week, and others are 12, and some are 14. So as a UTF, there are quite a few responsibilities, but it's a great experience nonetheless. So here are some of the courses that the ECE department hires UTFs for on a semesterly basis. First, you have E&E 101, Introduction to Electrical and Computer Engineering. And this course is a broad survey into the subtopics within electrical and computer engineering. And in this course, students get a lot of hands-on experience with doing labs, working with different computer programs, different software applications, different hardware, and really getting to see what are all the cool and neat things that is going on in the world of ECE. Next, you have E&E 140, which is Introduction to Programming Concepts for Engineers. And in this course, it revolves around the C programming language. And in this course, students get used to Unix, the Unix environment, data types, data structures, arrays, strings, print console printing, and debugging. So it's a great introductory course to the C programming language. Third is E&E 150, which is Intermediate Programming Concepts for Engineers. And this course is kind of one step up from E&E 140. This is still a C programming language course. And in this course, students do a little bit more involved work in terms of learning about maybe dynamic memory systems, learning about dynamic structures, learning about pointers, memory allocation. But it's a wonderful class, and it has a lot of cool applications for the C programming language and for software programs in general. Fourth, E&E 200, which is Social and Ethical Dimensions of Engineering Technology. And this course is not quite as technical as some of the other courses, but it's a great introduction into the ethical dilemmas and the decisions that engineers have to make on a daily basis in the field in order to approve projects, approve plans, and make systems that help improve the lives of everyone, help improve the quality of life of everyone, of people in society, while also considering, what are all the ethical dilemmas going on here? What are all the things that I need to consider from maybe a personal, social, cultural, political perspective that maybe engineers may not think about just in a technical sense. Fifth, E&E 205, which is electric circuits, and this is a lab-based course. There's a theory component and a lab component. And in this course, students will deal with Kirchhoff's laws, equivalent circuits, transient circuits, amplifiers, transfer functions, and get a good introduction into electric circuits and how analog circuits behave within the ECE department. And lastly, you have E&E 244, which is digital logic design. And this course primarily focuses on the binary state of digital logic and digital circuits. So Boolean algebra, this course deals with binary conversion, bit conversion, Carnot maps, finite state machines, and other digital systems that have applications to electrical and computer engineering. So in order to become a UTF, you must be hired as a UTF. You must be an electrical or computer engineering major. You must also be an undergraduate student for the semester you want to serve as a UTF. So say you want to apply for the fall semester of a specific year, For that semester, you must be an undergraduate major within the electrical or computer engineering department. So if you're a graduate student, you cannot apply to be a UTF, or if you're not in the ECE department as a major, you cannot serve as a UTF. It is recommended to have taken the course before. It's not a formal requirement, but some professors who ultimately have the say as who to hire, some may prefer that you have taken the course before in order to serve as a UTF for them. So it's recommended that you have taken the course. You're also encouraged to have above a 3.3 GPA. Again, this isn't a formal requirement, but a lot of professors will seek out candidates and choose to hire candidates who have a little bit higher of a GPA. So as I mentioned, different courses have different weekly time requirements. So E&E currently, E&E 150 and E&E 244 require about 6 hours per week in terms of your responsibilities and roles. Most of the other ones require currently 12 hours per week, and E&E 205, since this is a pretty technically advanced lab, there's a time commitment of 14 hours per week currently. So you must be able to commit that amount of time as outlined in your contract in order to serve as a UTF for that course. And lastly, and kind of the most important one of all of these, is you need to be proficient at communicating course topics. So as a UTF, your goal and your mission is to help teach the course to students, to undergraduate students. And so if students are first being introduced to a particular course, to a particular subject, it is your job to introduce it to them in a way that is accessible and a way that it's easily absorb. So you must be passionate about the subject that you're teaching. You must really care about the course. You must care about how students learn, and you really must be able to break down difficult concepts in a way that is digestible for different students, because everyone's learning needs and ways that we best learn are a little bit different. So you must be able to take a difficult concept and kind of break it down into different people. So now I'm going to get into some of the reasons why you should apply to be a UTF or an undergraduate teaching fellow. First is it's a wonderful learning experience. So when you take the course, you learn the material when you take the class. You do the projects, you do the exams, and you understand, or you learn the material. But when you have to actually teach it to somebody else, when you're forced to sit down and actually explain to someone who's completing a project or maybe about to take an exam, you have to truly understand the material. And so I've had an experience with this where when I took E&E 140, the Introduction to Programming Concepts, I did well in the course. I took the course, I did well in the projects, in the exams, but I didn't truly actually understand how computers work until I had to then explain to somebody else. I served as a UTF in a later semester, and I actually understood the material that much better because I had to explain it to people with a bunch of different learning techniques, learning methods, and just how people understand things. So this actually, for example, last summer I had an interview for an internship, and the interviewer asked me a question about a programming concept. And had I not been a UTF for E&E 140, I probably wouldn't have done so well at answering the question as I did, because I had retaught the course. I had taught the course to somebody else, so it kind of helped me reabsorb the information and learn it and retain it a little bit longer. So I found in my experience that it's been really important that I've understood the material like after I've taught it, and that's been worthwhile. Second, this is a great teaching experience. So employers and graduate programs love to see teaching experience on resumes. It shows that you can work well on a team. It shows that you are passionate about a subject. You really care, maybe about explaining difficult concepts to other people. And that's a great skill, is to be able to break down a difficult concept to people who maybe aren't as technically advanced, or maybe people who are a little bit different from you, people who are new to a project. As an employer, or as an employee, as an engineer, it's really important to be able to truly understand concepts and break them down for people. So employers and graduate programs love to hear about teaching experience, love to hear about people who serve as UTFs, because it shows that they care about the subject, but also are able to work in a team and share with others. Helps you network with faculty and professors in the department. So in my example, I've been a UTF for 5 semesters, and I've worked with 4 different professors. And of those 4, I've asked most of them to write me letters of recommendation for either an internship or a job or for graduate school. And they can say a little bit more than like just a generic cookie cutter letter of recommendation, but they know who I am. They know a little bit more about me. They know what my interests are. They know what I'm passionate about. They know that how I work in a team, how I can break down difficult concepts. And it really is worthwhile it kind of helps you stand out from the rest of the application pool. If you can get a really personal recommendation that it caters to who you are as a person. And lastly, it's a great way to help younger students succeed. So it kind of helps you help the future generations or the future classes of the ECE department kind of do well in courses, do well in understanding the fundamental material, so that then when they progress and move into maybe the 300 and 400 level courses, they're well versed in understanding the foundation of the ECE department. Additionally, a UTF is a great way to get leadership experience. So you get practice with public speaking and teamwork. And that's really important because wherever you go in life, whatever you do, you're probably going to have to work in a team, and you're probably going to have to speak publicly. You're going to have to give presentations, have to give briefs. And so it's a great way to get involved with that while you can. It's also a great way to become a known leader throughout the department. In my experience, now I know professors know me, I know staff and faculty around the department because they know who I am. They trust me. They know that I do good things because I've been a UTF. They know me from being a UTF. So they've seen my face, they've seen my name, and they know that I'm a leader in the department. So it's a great way to really get your name out there, get your face out there, and get well connected, because it's always great to expand your network and grow your network as you progress through college. Lastly, it's a very flexible schedule. So aside from your discussion or lab sections, which are mandated by your contract, your hours are more flexible. So if you want to grade assignments at 2 in the morning, you can, because sometimes that's just what works. And so in my experience, I found that it's been a great way to work when I can. And so some weeks, if I'm a little bit busier, maybe I can push off grading a little bit, while some weeks, if I have more time, I can prioritize grading for my UTF course. So it really depends, and I love the flexibility. Additionally, it's competitive pay to other student jobs with a little bit more independence. So I really love that because, again, I can work when I want to. Aside from my outlined lab or discussion time, I can kind of work when I want to. I can hold my office hours when I want to. The only exception to office hours is that if you are working for a lab course like the E&E 205, you can only have your office hours while the lab is actually open, which is Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 permanently. So that's, but other than that, you can kind of hold your office hours when you want. It's usually about an hour per week. And yeah, other than that, it's a pretty flexible job. So here's how to apply. The application opens once every semester. For the fall positions, the application is open in the prior spring semester. And for the spring positions, the application is open in the prior fall semester. So say you want to apply to be UTF in the fall semester, you would be on the lookout for the application in the previous spring semester. Usually the application comes through or is available through the undergraduate listserv, the ECE undergraduate listserv, which is through your email. Check your email while the application is open. You will see the call for applicants. It's also available on the ECE website in case you don't check your email and you want to go on the website. It's available on the website. Again, the fall application will open in the prior spring, so usually that's mid to late April, whereas the spring application opens in kind of mid to late November. It's usually open for about 2 to 3 weeks, and it's a very short application process. You upload a copy of your unofficial transcript and your resume. You pick the course that you'd like to be a UTF for. You pick the faculty, the instructor that you would like to work for, and you fill out some other basic personal information in order to fill out the application. But it's a very short application. So lastly, that concludes my formal information. But here's just a flyer of some of the current flyer for the UTF program. So yeah, you'll see this flyer posted up around the engineering department through A.V. Williams and Clark Hall and maybe even Martin Hall. But this is the current flyer. So when you see this, you know that the application is open. In order to get to the application, just check your email. The call for applicants will be sent out periodically throughout the time that the application is actually open. So please check your email during this time, and when the application is open, and it'll direct you right to the application, right to the website, so that you can apply to be a UTF. So thank you very much. I hope you learned something from this video, and I really encourage that you all consider being an undergraduate teaching fellow in the EC department in future semesters. So thank you very much.